Should Christians boycott companies that support ungodly policies or practices?
Okay, I'm going to start with this. It's a matter of conscience.
All right.
And I'm going to actually bring in a little scripture here in Matthew.
I would hope so.
Acts 15. The Jews and Gentiles all became Christians, and the Gentiles were eating meat offered to idols, and it offended the Jews. So they said, look, the meat offered to the idol is not unclean, but don't offend your Jewish brothers and sisters. So to me, I interpret that to say, do what your conscience lets you do. When you get in the group, don't offend someone, but at home, you could eat the pork. So I think it's really a matter of conscience, and I think it's a matter of something else. In this country, we are privileged to boycott.
That's right.
Because the law permits us to in a safe and reasonable way. But we have so many other choices. If that place was your only choice, would you really boycott? I mean, if there was baby food nowhere else, would you really boycott? Right. So you have to really think about why I'm doing it, what I'm doing it for, and follow your conscience.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which is exactly what I did recently. And I've got, over 2 handfuls of companies that I'm not shopping from. I'm thinking about this. I'm praying every day against what they're supporting. I'm serving in the community that's going against what they're taking my money and funding. So I just thought, wait. I'm sort of kicking myself in the tail by praying for these things, serving the community in these things, believing these things in my heart and in my mind and with my life. Why would I give my money to a company that's going to support the 100% opposite of what I believe and value? So I think that you have to be wise. And what's happened is it's pushed me to small local businesses, and I've gotten to know people, and it's been an amazing, incredible experience.
Wow. What do you think, Cora?
I mean, I think we certainly always have a choice, but I do think that if we really took it to the nth degree, we would literally have nowhere to shop or anything to buy. Like, we literally couldn't even use the smartphones in our hands.
That's right.
So, I mean, if we're really going to say, like, we're not going to support any business that supports anything that goes against the Bible, we would be extremely limited in what we could do. And I hear a lot of conservative Christians complaining about cancel culture, but I feel like Christians were the ones that originated cancel culture with boycotting. So, I mean, I think we have to be real careful with being hypocritical with when we start like spouting out about boycotting. Like, I do think we need to be careful about that. And I hate when politicians and celebrities use boycotting as a weapon. I do not think it should be weaponized. And I just think, I'm glad we live in a culture where it's not legislated, where people use their wallets to kind of decide on their own what is their choice. I don't agree when you decide on your own to boycott something, when you get angry at someone else for not doing so.
Stop judging each other.
Yeah.
I need the wisdom of flow on this.
I just think, as a Christian, I'm against sin, but I need to do it in a Christ-like nature.
Come on.
And so, as my sister already shared about conscience, and you came from Matthew, right? Acts.
I did say Matthew at first.
Okay, all right. So 1 Corinthians 10:29-30 says, "Conscience, I say not thine own, but of the other. For why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? For if I by grace be a partaker, why am I evil spoken of for that which I give thanks?" So that ties into what Corey is saying. So I may feel very strong about something, but when I push that onto another person, the other thing is I always question, not that I'm anti-boycotting, but I also think you need to take a look at how effective is this? You know, what kind of message does it send? And, you know, we do have to take a stand, but I do believe you got to do it in a Christ-like nature.
That's right. But boycotting is both sides of issues, too. We have to remember that there was a major boycott of a restaurant chain with godly people that owned it and ran it. And instead of taking their business down, God elevated their business so that they can be closed on Sunday and yet the #1 franchise in the United States. So God's in charge at the end of the story.